Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 406. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
What's up, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo, yo.
And Brian Manjoma.
Apparently, the She-Hulk finale is really, really bad. Who could have known?
Yeah. So you're telling me that the finale of a show that was bad was also bad?
Yeah. Apparently, she breaks the fourth wall and everyone's not happy. It's like, oh, duh.
She talks to a certain executive at the end.
Oh, does she start twerking too?
I don't know.
Are we going to talk about all the shows that we're not going to watch?
Yeah, right. Fucking ridiculous. All right. So no Adam action. He is with family at the moment. And Brett, I don't know if he wants me to get into it, but he is not. He's under the weather, so no Brett action. Maybe for a little bit. We'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. You know. So you're dealing with us five tonight. You know. It's crazy.
It was us.
Semi-interesting weekend gaming. I only really caught up with it today because there was so much shit going on, you know, in the tech world that I had to cover. Like yesterday, so every few months or so, they have this thing called PepCom, which is kind of like a mini event where, like, you know, that tech companies hold and stuff. It's basically an excuse for tech journalists to get together and get drunk and shit, right? You know, eat some free food. So I was on the fence about going to PepCom yesterday. I'm like, I don't know. You know, because I went to the last one, it was okay. It's in the city, it's, you know, really easy to get to. After the days I've had, I'm like, I need a drink, you know?
Yeah,
I was like, shit. Although I fucked up. They had these martinis, right? They were good. They had milk in them, bruh. 3 a.m., bro, when I woke up, oh, man, those next 2 hours were not fun, you know? So I'm like, yeah, let's not do that again during the work week, you know. And I wasn't really hungover enough that it was the milk part that fucked me up.
No,
you know?
Don't mind me. I don't know. I didn't know a martini had milk on it.
This one did.
Yeah, I thought like those were White Russians.
Yeah, no, this one had milk in it. You know, it was like, oh yeah, it's like a special one they had because always like come up with these kooky drinks at PepCom. So it tasted good though. You know, and it was one of those dangerous drinks, as I call it, because I was pretty fucked up afterwards. I kept drinking them. I'm like, shit, am I even drunk? You know,
it's the law of mixing more stuff into you know, these types of substances. The more different stuff you put in, the more dangerous it gets.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I call it dangerous because it doesn't taste alcoholic. So you keep drinking like this shit's not gonna get me drunk.
Oh,
you know, that's what I mean by dangerous. You know, like those fruity drinks. That's why I try not to drink too many of those because you're like, this ain't no alcohol. You keep drinking this shit. You know, and then like
more alcohol than beer.
And then you move. You're like, fuck.
Like, why is the room spinning? I'm not spinning.
You know,
you're spinning.
Yeah, but yeah, no. What woke me up wasn't the alcohol; it was the milk. I was like, "Oh shit," you know.
In general? Are you like sort of lactose intolerant?
I'm milk intolerant because I can have cheese. Cheese is fine. Ice cream's fine. Cheese products are fine. It's milk. That's the problem, you know, which is interesting. Anyway, enough of my dietary problems. Let's get into some gaming news. Again, like I said, I found out most of this today, so I'll be surprised along with some of you guys.
What?
Although this first story doesn't surprise me at all. So apparently, Microsoft went to PlayStation because they wanted to have Game Pass on PlayStation. PlayStation said no.
No.
That is not surprising at all.
Not surprising at all.
Yeah, they're going to do that.
Are you kidding? You got Jim Ryan flying around advocating for them not to have the Activision Blizzard merger. And they were gonna, hey, you guys want Game Pass? Of course they don't want it.
We do. Yeah. Of course, no, we don't want no Game Pass. We don't.
We don't want that. You know.
We don't want that.
Jim Ryan character.
Are you mad?
Jay Shep, no, I don't like. He goes, a nightmare for Tony, pancakes and milk. No, because I don't like pancakes. So you know, not a problem there. I don't like that shit. Anyway, so let me read this. This is from Game Rant. Microsoft has shared that Sony has chosen to has chosen to block the release of its Xbox Game Pass subscription to PlayStation platforms. The ongoing acquisition of Activision Blizzard has led to a conflict between the two companies, as PlayStation argues that Call of Duty on Xbox Game Pass would prove anti-competitive. Microsoft, in a response, offered through the United Kingdom's competition and market authority, says that there's more to the situation than it may seem. Damn, they're getting petty now, So did Microsoft go, oh, by the way, okay, so I'll just keep reading this. Said, I'm finding out about this shit. As shared by Tom Warren on Twitter, Microsoft is responding to PlayStation's argument that an acquisition of the Call of Duty franchise would, quote, tip subscription services in Xbox favor. In other words, offering Call of Duty games through Xbox Game Pass and no other subscription service would be an anti-competitive act that would irreparably harm Sony's own efforts. Microsoft has several arguments against Sony's point, many revolving around Sony's own approach to gaming subscription services. Yeah, because Microsoft was saying, hey, you guys are the biggest player in town when it comes to gaming, so you can't be complaining, And Sony's like, yeah, but it's going to hurt us if you take Call of Duty away. So things are getting a little nasty between the two,
To be honest, all that talk about, hey, if you take Call of Duty away, all that makes it look like is that Sony doesn't have a pot to piss in, and they're depending on third parties to fill in the space.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what's going on. Again, I'm reading more into it. So apparently, Microsoft was, offering Game Pass to PlayStation, and that way it could be like, hey, we're not taking Call of Duty away from you. It's gonna be on Game Pass. Oh, yeah. So that's where Microsoft was kind of coming from, but obviously, Sony's saying that the exclusivity deal is going to harm them, And I kind of see it from Sony's perspective. Microsoft and Game Pass is it's a library of games that you get to play, and you essentially just pay for the subscription service. And if Game Pass is available in the Sony platform, it'll undercut Sony's revenue that they get on their shares for the third-party sales. So if, for example, I don't know if a Plague's Tale is an exclusive, but let's say, for example, Plague's Tale is coming out, and Sony is expecting X amount of revenue just for selling it in their PlayStation store, but a lot of that revenue is going to get cut because it's going to come out day and date on Game Pass. Yeah. So a lot of that revenue that Sony would be expecting to get from the third-party perspective is suddenly going to get severely diminished. And not only that, but Microsoft's going to be making the money. It's the whole Trojan horse. Game Pass is a Trojan horse.
Also, what would be the point of PS Plus games at that point?
Yeah.
I mean, Xbox can offer way more per month. They offer way more. So, yeah, they would.
Yeah, again, if I've said this many times on the show, if Xbox Game Pass were to come to PlayStation, it would be heavily curated, as in it would probably only have Xbox exclusives. There was no way Sony's going to let them have third-party games on that shit, But then again, it's going to kind of gimp Xbox Game Pass, so I don't know.
And not only that, and Chris mentioned the PSN Plus stuff. Sony pays for a lot of those free games for PSN. I think I saw a report. I think was it this week that they paid like a couple of million for Ark.
Yeah, it was. This is interesting too. We could toss this into this story. So they paid 3-point-something million for Ark, right, on PlayStation Plus, I believe.
Yeah.
And Xbox fucking paid $2 million to keep it on Game Pass for 3 years. Ark 2, the one that's coming up. That's crazy. So Microsoft got the sequel for less.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why anybody wants that fucking Ark game. Does anybody play that shit? I don't know.
Yeah, Brett, man.
I mean, Brett was pissed about that game. Yeah. I don't think he liked that.
Well, no, yeah. Well, the new one has Vin Diesel. That's why.
I mean, the thing about it is that he was pretty disappointed with that game. Like, in other words, it's essentially he called it consistently broken. So is that game like just a broken game that people just love to play? I don't know why Sony played that much for that game.
Yeah, well, people like it. A lot of people play it. Because it has dinosaurs. I don't know. Very interesting stuff there. But I know Brett stopped playing it because he played it with Rachel. And she passed away. He's like, nah, I don't want to play this anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which makes sense, yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, damn, Microsoft got the better end of the deal here with Ark, I don't know. I find this whole thing interesting. The money wars,
Mm-hmm.
And I said this the petty wars were going to begin sometime.
The petty wars.
It's been going on now, and it's we're barely at the beginning of it. And this Activision deal, and all the stuff that's going on with the Activision deal and the back and forth and the PR stuff, and it's crazy, man. But I'm not surprised. Obviously, Sony not having Game Pass is not a surprise. It's not a surprise also that Microsoft wanted it on a PlayStation console because Game Pass does better when it's everywhere. They don't. If if they sell Xbox Series X's and Series S's, that's all gravy. But what they want is on the TVs, on the PCs, on all the consoles, preferably. That's their game plan. On my PC,
yeah.
Ray tracing.
See, this is the kind of console where I like, the companies are just being mad competitive and a little petty too, which is kind of fun.
Little healthy virally doesn't hurt anyone.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. At the end of the day, they're being competitive, so Sony's going to have to step up in some kind of capacity, But we'll see how that translates. But yeah, I find it's very interesting that Microsoft actually offered to have Game Pass on there. Sony's like, nah, we're good. But again, it was Microsoft going, hey, see, we're not trying to keep Call of Duty exclusive. What are you talking about, Sony?
Yeah, that was definitely that would definitely be a loophole. It's like, well, you can still play Call of Duty on a PlayStation. You just have to get Game Pass.
Yeah, but even now it's still a loophole. Hey, we offered it to them. They didn't want it.
Right?
Like you can't call us anti-competitive. We offered it. I'm telling you, man. I know how these companies think, man.
That's the PR game.
Yep, that's how it is. I read this last part. It's unclear at this point whether or not PlayStation efforts will have any significant consequence for Microsoft. They won't. The Activision Blizzard acquisition is being looked at closely both in the EU and the UK, but that should be expected for any $69 billion acquisition. Even without further hurdles placed in its way, Microsoft's acquisition will likely be wrapped up much later than it would have liked. Oh, yeah, probably. I didn't think about that. But you're right. All this stuff is kind of delaying it in a way, But that's a lot of money, so it makes sense. And it's like one of the biggest games out there, or if not the biggest game. If it was like, but even Bethesda didn't catch this much scrutiny, Yeah.
No one cared about Bethesda as much as they care about Call of Duty.
Yeah, but it's like, you gotta take, especially, it's like, think about it. Like, if you're a regular parent, shit, like, oh, my kid can't play Call of Duty on PlayStation. What?
Yeah.
Or some fucking lawmaker and shit. Their kids bugging them. Daddy, yeah, I can't play my Call of Duty. What?
That's how shit gets done. You just need the kids to complain.
That's
the parents.
I can't play Call of Duty. Wait a minute. You shouldn't be playing that game. That's an immature game. What are you doing?
They probably don't even know that, and they're lawmakers.
He'll be like, he's like, wait a minute. You want to play this violent game? Why are they giving these violent games to children? Sir, there's a ratings board. What do you mean ratings?
Yeah.
What is it? When did they do this? And then the politician, when it's like, oh, it's an M rated for mature game. Yeah, you can't play this game. Oh, wait, this is what you've been doing the whole time and allows me to do whatever the hell I want on the side? All right, keep playing it.
Yeah, right. Blitz says, as a parent, I'd see no Call of Duty as a positive. That's funny. I'm not a parent. I don't see it as a positive either. If we could talk shit about Call of Duty because Adam's not around,
It's the butter game.
Oh, no, hold on. It's the butter game.
Let's talk about my baby.
Yeah, now we can talk shit about Call of Duty. Fuck Call of Duty.
What you talking about?
Yeah.
When we told him last show,
hold on.
This year is different. This year is every fucking year he does it.
Run the tape back. You're right. Every year he does. No, it's different this time.
It's gonna be
they got this mode. They got that mode. I'm telling you,
it's gonna Pinkett in
it. Every year. Like no.
What is it? Circa 2014. No, this year is different. They got Kevin Spacey on this. And they got Jon Snow.
Yeah, they got Jon Snow. They got dogs.
They got dogs.
Every year, man. Nah, it's different. It's different. Yo, when I played this, oh my god.
I mean,
Yo, I'm telling you, the butt of game.
Adam does love his military shooters, you know.
They got ghosts.
They got ghosts, and they're going back to World War II.
Yeah,
and they going
back to World War II.
I will give,
but you know what? You know the one game that he didn't care for. He did actually actively go against
the future one.
Future one.
Yeah,
Advanced Warfare.
The only one me and Manny were mildly interested in. You know,
well,
I was like, they got spaceships in this motherfucker. You know?
I gotta give credit to Adam because he's not a blind loyalist to the franchise. Like he'll call out that one. He's called out the World War II one from last year that he didn't like either. But Adam is like a super optimist.
Oh,
when it comes to
when it comes to if it's a military shooter and it's like a modern sort of military sort of stuff, he has an interest in that sort of stuff. So that's what he'll be like, nah, this is gonna be different now. It's gonna
gotta have something.
Adam. All right, man. Anything else you guys want to say about the, PlayStation blocking Xbox Game Pass?
It's gonna keep happening, to be honest.
Yeah.
It seems like they're slowing it down for something.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, what else is on the docket here? Speaking about Game Pass, it turns out that it actually generated $3 billion in 2021. I don't know if that's profitable yet, but that's a lot of money, And apparently, we found this out through some Brazil or something. But it's legit. It's like it's for the whole world.
Okay, so but the thing about it wasn't Microsoft that actually said this. It was just something that came out through some Brazilian.
Yeah, people started crunching the numbers. It's like, oh shit, it's $3 billion.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a rumor. Like you can look at the numbers. It's all publicly not. It's all public knowledge. It's just a matter of gathering the data. But pretty interesting. That's a lot of money. So obviously, Game Pass is not a flop, as some people say,
Chris is like, what? It's like, what? I couldn't see that in all that garbage.
Yeah.
I've been looking at the financials for years.
Oh my god! I wish they would just make an Xbox separate part. Like they literally give one half a page to Xbox. They always call it gaming services. They never call it Xbox. And it's like, do you care more about this? I have to sift through enterprise numbers and Azure and on their hardware and Surface, and then I get down to where they talk about Xbox, and it's a tiny portion.
Yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. So, basically, 18% of Xbox's total revenue came from Game Pass subscriptions. Obviously, the majority, and that's the other thing people always say. Xbox Game Pass decentivizes people from buying games. No, most people are actually still buying games on Xbox, not physical, but buying games in general, whether it's physical or digital. So that whole argument about how Game Pass prevents people or decentivizes people from buying games is kind of BS, according to this. That's very interesting.
Well, there was an argument a long time ago, and as a matter of fact, Nintendo made this argument when they got rid of demos, saying that demos disincentivize people from purchasing the full game, and it's that's a bunch of bullshit.
That's a lie, yeah.
If you get a sample of a game and you're like, "Oh shit, I wanna experience this," yeah, of course you're gonna buy the game.
Well, I'm not surprised that. Yeah, I'm not surprised that the company that tried to sue Blockbuster, said that shit.
Well, I also think Nintendo, I think when it comes to demos. The problem with them is that, especially singular demos, is that it takes it takes just as much time to lock down one of those demos in order to do it. And how many games have also been? You find out with a lot of those demos are essentially the full game, just with a artificial blocker in the way.
Interesting.
That have gotten hacked. So I think the thing about it is I think Nintendo just doesn't want to spend the time in developing demos. Whereas with something like a Game Pass, which a lot of the games, obviously the first party games are all, it'll stay down there for perpetuity, right? But some of those other games that have limited times, let's say you have one of those games, and then you realize, oh shit, I can't get it now. Oh, hey, look at that, I can get it again, but for a little bit cheaper since I already played it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty interesting stuff right there. But again, they are accounting for both software and hardware. So obviously, Xbox consoles are factored into that. The totality of Xbox's revenue. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there you go. We got Game Pass, and that's for 2021. I'm pretty sure probably did better this year. I mean, granted, it's not over yet, but yeah.
With the Activision news, I'm pretty sure a lot of excitement has been gaining for Game Pass. I will say though, after December, my subscription ends. I don't know if I'm going to continue it. We'll see how things are, but yeah, good for Game Pass. I do wonder though. This shouldn't come as a surprise because, Xbox Live was the big moneymaker for Xbox for years.
That's right,
even when they were doing bad. So, it's all about the subscription service. Xbox Live I don't even know if it exists anymore. It's all about Game Pass. Game Pass is your way to play online, to play all the video games that you want with the libraries they have. So yeah, I not surprising for me.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, I forgot about the Xbox Live was like the big thing. Xbox Game Pass is still not the big thing yet, but it could be. And like you said, after the deal is finalized with Activision, you already know. You already know those numbers are going to go up even higher.
Duty heads.
Yeah, duty heads, man. Oh, man. All right, what do we talk about next? All right, more numbers here. So Sony expects to ship 30 million PS5s in fiscal year 2023. That sounds lofty. Like they could barely get these systems out now.
I guess the change in the tide is when Brett finally got the invite to get a PlayStation 5 after not getting it for 2 years.
Yeah, even though he does have one.
He has one, but he only just got the email that says, "Hey, you want to buy a PlayStation 5?"
Yeah.
To be honest, like number one, like if you think about it, like it shows that Sony's things are not connected. They don't see that he's logging on with a PlayStation 5. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gotten that.
Yeah.
Right.
Stupid. Yeah.
So it's sort of a wasted thing. Like I only got mine like maybe a few months ago in August. So I don't know. We'll see what the hat trick they're going to eventually be pulling on all of this is.
Well, it might not even be a hat trick. We might know better because most of the fiscal year 2023 is already done with, I think. It ends this March. So
you mean 2022?
Sorry?
2022.
Oh, no. The fiscal year 2023 ends this March. So March 2023. Oh, yeah. So yeah, most of those PlayStations probably already shipped. So they should have a good idea of how many are going to ship by the end of the year. And I've been trying to look for the numbers for last year, but I can't seem to find them.
Okay, I got to read this thing. This is fucking crazy. Like, okay, like how they're planning to do this. I'm reading this from WCCF Tech. The PlayStation 5 is the mythical console that nobody can seem to get. I like that intro, even with its increased price point. However, it seems like Sony wants to address this by selling more console units during the next fiscal year. This information was provided by sources that talked with Insider Gaming after briefly mentioning it in an exclusive report about the PlayStation 5 detachable disc drive version. I don't think we spoke about this one.
We did on the question show, I think.
Okay. Was I not around? I don't remember talking about that.
Because I remember remember Adam brought up the whole HD DVD with the 360.
Yeah.
And then we talked about it briefly, but
okay.
It wasn't like a topic or anything or a question. It just got brought up.
Oh, it just brought up. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because I was like, I'm pretty sure we should have talked about that. Anyway, he goes, so let's break through this information with some insight regarding the new PlayStation 5 version. According to inside gaming sources, production of the new detachable disc drive console is expected to start in April 2023. Carlos, that would be the end of that fiscal year, with the console hitting the market in September of that year. It is also said that Sony aims to sell 18 million consoles in fiscal year 2022 and 30 million in fiscal year 2023.
Oh, so okay, gotcha. So 18 by this fiscal year and then 30 by the next one.
Yeah. Oh, that makes more sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Because it would be 12 more million then, right? If I'm doing the math right. Yeah. Oh,
yes.
There we go. I thought it was like 30 million period. Like, you motherfuckers are crazy. How? It goes, what's going to happen to the quote unquote old version of the PS5? Well, the console will completely cease production by 2023's holiday season. It is believed that the new detachable disc drive PlayStation is a means to reduce production costs. Moving forward, the company will only need to manufacture one console but have two price points of the digital and disc versions. Very interesting. According to the sources, this could mean that the detachable disc drive will cost $100. This is currently the price difference between a digital and standard PS5. This is true. So you might see a lot of digital versions of the PS5 with the disc drive attachment promotion or something like that. One thing's for sure, Sony is definitely looking forward to ramping up production of their hardware. Sony shipped an impressive 7.5 million kilograms of hardware. What the fuck does kilograms mean? Compared with... What the fuck is this shit? I'm not reading fucking metric system bullshit. Anyway, so
hey, let's start slander.
Anyway, very interesting stuff right there. By the way, speaking of mythical consoles, the digital one is fucking mythical. I think I know 2 people on Earth that have this thing. I wanted that one. But I couldn't get it. Yeah,
Chris, no, Brett has one.
Adam has one, I believe.
So me,
wait, what's
Brett,
the mythical system?
The digital only version of the PS5.
Oh, yeah, I don't have that one.
Yeah, like Adam has it. I believe he does, and I know like one other person that has it. Brett, does he? I'm not sure which one he has.
Yeah. That's the one I.
Do you think he does? He has it? I can't remember.
He does because when I bought Chris and Brett their PlayStations, and one of them had the disc version and the other one had the digital version.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I asked.
Yeah, I got the disc version, but man, that disc drive is loud. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I barely use it now.
I notice when you watch movies on it, it's not bad though.
No, but when you play a game, like I have, Souls, I have it disc version, and it's oh my god.
Yeah, it's like you go into space, bro. Hold on, Blitz. He said something I want to get to. He goes, I can't imagine it not looking like some kind of dumb add-on. Yeah, okay. So are they gonna are they gonna redesign the PlayStation? So like you attach this thing, like how is that gonna work? Because I think even the most ardent PlayStation 5 lover will admit that is an ugly fucking console. It's a monster.
Yeah, it's like what are they gonna keep the same design? And then where the hell do you put the stupid disk drive? What do you set it on top of the stupid thing? Where's this shit gonna go? Because this stupid thing doesn't even have a flat side to it.
Yeah.
Or it needs to use a fucking what do they call it? A stand so that it actually stands in any format. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah, it's horrible.
No,
look at this fucking thing. I'm looking at it now. It's like you big black behemoth. But I call it black behemoth because I got the black faceplates. Let's fucking go.
At least the one thing about those black faceplates is it does a good job of hiding the stupid ass thing.
It does,
because you have it hidden behind your TV.
Yeah, man, I could already see apes all around it. Like fucking 2001.
We need to get you some
the monolith.
Oh man.
Well, have you seen the 4090? One of the 4090s is almost the size of a PS5.
Have you seen the size of that fucking thing? It's ridiculous.
It is fucking crazy,
it's
man.
Bigger than an Xbox Series S. I am not exaggerating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how are you gonna put that? Like, you would need like a whole thing. Well, actually, no, you do need a different motherboard for that, don't you? Oh no, I'm thinking that's AMD. That's what I'm thinking about. You need
you'll need a different case.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same motherboard. Like, okay,
yeah.
I don't know why people are like freaking out because it's the same size as the pretty much the same size as the 3090 Ti.
Yeah, I didn't say no articles about that though.
Brett. I mean, Brian. There is
new thing.
Yeah.
There is one 4090. I forgot which manufacturer. It's not the Founders Edition. There's one 4090 that is ridiculous in size. Like it's way bigger than even the. Yeah, that one is almost the size of a PlayStation 5, and I'm like, ridiculous. How the hell are you gonna fit that in the case?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck? You know? Yeah. Which one was Founders Edition? That's like that. That's all huge.
Look
at the size of this fucking thing. You know? Like remember back in the day where it was like, oh, tech's getting smaller and smaller. Now it's getting bigger. Like, what's happening here? You know,
you need to cool all that shit down.
That's what it is. Like, yeah, the transistors are getting smaller and shit, but the fans are getting bigger. You know,
he's more heat sink than man.
Yeah. Like, yo, man, we got smaller dice, but we got bigger fans.
We got bigger fans.
Because
we got heat sinks for days.
Yeah, that's what the PlayStation is. It's a fucking giant heat sink, basically. You know,
It's
wild. You know. So yeah, we'll see. 30 million places. Yeah, in total, yes, I could see that. But again, Blitz, I'm glad you brought that up. How they have to redesign it. Like, how? I don't know where you would even attach this thing. Unless oh my god, could you imagine if you just plug it in and it's just like a separate thing that's not even attached to the actual console, like a external drive or something. You know, that's the only way they could do it. You know, unless it's like modular. I don't know. It's an interesting question. PlayStation 5 nanometer edition. We'll see about that, Mighty Nerd. He's been talking about that for years. You know. All right.
Hey man, what's the agenda?
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Manny, thank you for bringing this to my attention. So the company that QA'd Cyberpunk apparently lied to CD Projekt Red.
Oh.
You know,
yes.
So Manny, what's going on here?
So actually, we have to thank the fans for that one, because that actually showed up in our Discord earlier in the week. So,
all these stories are from Discord. Shout out to you guys, man.
Yeah, shout out to you guys. So yeah, essentially what happened is that a lot of this one company that handles a lot the QA testing and for a lot of different companies was pretty overtaxed, and a lot of their employees essentially decided to talk about what the hell was going on behind the scenes there. And apparently, games like CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk and I think a game for EA, both games that released around the same time, were both understaffed that didn't have experienced testers on them.
Uh-oh.
So what they were told to do is when they didn't have those experienced testers on those games, they would just essentially tell the testers to call out any bugs that they saw instead of actual instead of like real game breaking bugs.
Yeah.
So in other words, these superfluous bugs like graphical glitches and stuff were being called, but not things like I remember one of the missions was essentially stops all progress in the game, stuff like that, like real legitimate problems.
Damn, man. Is CD Projekt Red gonna do anything about this? Because they were lied to. I don't know.
I don't. I think there's something about an article about it, but I don't know. I don't know if CD Projekt Red knew anything about this. But if anything, they should sue these guys.
That's what I think.
Because you were literally hired to do a job, and what I suspect is that possibly they knew that there was a lot of bugs in the game already, but I think maybe if these guys were actually sort of doing their job, that maybe a lot of those really bad bugs that essentially stopped all progression in the game would have been addressed a lot earlier, as opposed to just on hot fixes later on.
Man,
so who knows?
I'm going to read this stuff real quick. This is from Forbes. This is the bullet point stuff. Manny already talked about all this, but let's just go through it again. Quantic Lab, that was the name of it. Quantic Lab over-exaggerated the size of the team working on Cyberpunk 2077 in order to keep the contract. Quantic Lab said the team was made up of senior staff, but it was instead juniors with under 6 months experience in QA. Quantic Lab had a daily quota of reported bugs, which led to CDPR getting thousands of relatively pointless bug reports from the testers, which took up a lot of time and caused game-breaking issues to not be found or prioritized. Everything you just said. That's fucking wild, man.
It's always it's never one thing.
Yeah.
When it causes something to go bad. It's usually a bunch of shit that caused it to go wrong. So,
okay. Somebody released a video about it. I'll have to check this out later, like detailing this entire fiasco.
I'm wondering if with this information now known, will CD Projekt Red take illegal action because they essentially paid these guys to do a job and they weren't doing their job.
It's crazy how something as what might seem small as QA testing can have such a big effect on a big project like this. And we talk about QA. We know people who've done QA in video games before, and it's crazy how that aspect of the job for video game development seems to be like an afterthought. A lot of these people are contractors, people that just get hired, like real quickly and then get left off to move on to the next job. When this stuff is important, a game like Cyberpunk, which is a seriously massive title with doing things that other games have never done before, and it's gotta test that thoroughly because there's a lot of points, a lot of potential points of impact where bugs can be found, where game breaking bugs and stuff like that. So yeah, doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Real quick, and take this how you will because it's coming from a YouTuber. Some guy called Legacy Killer. He spoke to his own CDPR sources and says that Quantic Labs' role in the game, Quantic Labs' role in the game's data launch is being overstated, and much of it falls on CDPR management. Who knows? Again, when it comes to YouTubers, you can't really trust those guys. But obviously, there was some mismanagement regardless, Man, what is it? Again, this game is like we finally had some good news. Now we got bad news again,
Well, we got bad. The reason why we got a big reason why a lot of the bad news happened in the first place.
Yeah, but that's fucked up. So they were getting. But the thing is, like, let's just say for the sake of argument that they were getting the correct reports, right? Would CDPR management delay the game? Because it seemed like they were helping on getting that shit out. The upper guys. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like maybe it would have played out exactly as is. It's just, I don't know, but maybe they could have had a stronger case. Like, guys, this is fucked up. We need to delay this thing.
Yeah, who knows? Obviously, the stuff with the higher management and CG Projekt Red, they're still at fault regardless of what happened with the team, that testing team, because they knew and they withheld a lot of those review copies for the different platforms, and only gave them the best of the best with the modified PCs and the curated yellow chairs, and that's how people were reviewing them, and so they knew
on PC and only the first act, which is the most polished act of the game, so it's very curated. Although, as the article points out, it's a good point. Remember, even CD Projekt Red said, "Oh, the game is in a surprisingly good state on last gen consoles." That was a fucking lie, and you can't say it was because the QA guys,
Well, that's the part that I'm kind of a little torn, because I don't know if they're getting word back, because testing teams tell you the quality of your product. If they're telling
you think they didn't look at it themselves?
I don't know. I don't know how that works with CD Projekt Red. But if their only source of quality assurance was that team, then there's really no way that they would know if the game was running like quote unquote good. Most of the developers, I'm pretty sure, were working on the bugs and some stuff they already knew, and they just didn't have a chance to review the game. That's why they relied too heavily on that team. That it looks like that team isn't part of CD Projekt Red. It's maybe an independent team or some other team from somewhere.
Well, it's a QA lab is just separate team. But yeah, either way, it's a fucking mess, man. But I got to check out that video though, like explaining all that. That's interesting. All right, and I had to throw this in here. So a lot of I know there's still some gaming companies diving into the NFT space, but obviously some others that going away from it. But not Konami. Not Konami. They're diving full into this shit. So no surprise there, Because remember, didn't they release that Castlevania NFTs earlier this year?
Yes, they did.
Which is fucking ridiculous. So now they're just doubling down on this even more.
Wait, I got a more interesting pivot.
Yeah,
and I completely forgot. Remember Konami? Was it during Tokyo Game Show? They said they had a huge announcement. Do you guys remember that?
No.
They said I don't know if it was supposed to be the announcement of an old franchise game or something like that. And I don't remember hearing anything from them.
I don't know. Manny would know if that happened.
I mean, I vaguely remember. I vaguely remember something, but to be honest, I don't remember anything happening from that. Maybe the big announcement was the fact that we're doing NFTs. Who knows?
Oh, God.
Let me read this bullshit statement from Konami. We have been conducting research and development to incorporate the latest technology into games and content and plan to launch a service where players can trade their in-game NFTs through a unique distribution platform using blockchain. All right, guys.
I mean, here's the thing. If you notice, they're only trading with these NFTs within their own services. There's another studio that's also doing this too, where they're there's also Sony's weird thing about with not NFTs but digital items. So it's a weird sort of thing, and even with their with Konami's initial sale of the Castlevania NFTs, if you look at any of the paperwork for that stuff, you can't even sell that shit. So what is this garbage?
Yeah. By the way,
go ahead.
Shout out to Mighty Nerd. It was Suikoden, because
yes, Suikoden. Yeah, the remaster of Suikoden 1 and 2.
Yep, because and I opened the article that had the teaser. It said Konami says it will announce a new game from a series loved around the world. So, man, not only are they not announcing new games, they're just doing, the cleanups on this, and they're doing NFT stuff. I guess that's what we can expect from Konami these days.
How the mighty have fallen,
I mean, if they're going to be doing legacy games, let me do some good legacy games. So Suikoden was a good series, and a lot of it hasn't been out for a while. So, at least that's why. At least they're only doing. At least they're doing something, I guess.
Yeah. Can they even do? I know they did Metal Gear Survive without Kojima, but can they do any of the older with the actual Kojima games?
They could do whatever they want. It's their franchise.
They completely control that franchise.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because they did do Metal Gear Survive, so
right. Yeah, because I've always been curious. Why haven't they done anything with Metal Gear?
Well, it's because they didn't want to make it. They didn't want to make any big AAA games for a while. They're just now kind of using the Throwdown term, toe dipping back in there.
Yeah, a lot of the games that they're sort of putting out, which are new titles, but they're sort of smaller titles.
Yeah, because again, they just after Metal Gear Solid 5 cost them so much money, right? They were like, okay, we're gonna step away from this stuff for a while. Actually, they stopped making video games for a minute, and then it's like, okay, we'll start releasing a couple, compilations or whatever. They even released the new Contra game or whatever, just testing the waters or whatever. But,
they released that. What was that new? They released those collections, which I have to say, all those collections have been very good.
They've been well done. Yeah,
the Ninja Turtles, the Contra collection, and then the Castlevania collection are all well done because they got really good people to do them.
Yeah.
So, then they had this other new title. I can't remember the name of it.
Hold on. I don't know. Who knows? By the way, I need to shift gears right now. We're gonna do this. Okay. Blitz, I hope you're still there. Subgata, I need you to answer a question that Blitz had. Okay, you know how like fanboys are, like for console fanboys in America? Is that the same in Japan? Like, is it any? Because I'm guessing. Obviously I don't know. I'm just speaking out of my ass right now. I'm guessing it isn't like the same at all over there as it is over here. You know, with the craziness you see on Twitter and all this shit, the toxicity. So yeah, if you could give us any insight into that, because there he is. No, big nope. There it is. That's what I thought. So there you go, Blitz. There's your answer. I'll ask Fonzie though, but I'm guessing Subgata, he knows his shit. That's probably
Mr. Gata is the official Japanese correspondent of Throwdown. So
he is, yeah.
He is also our localizer if we ever need one. But also Gata lived there for years, so he has a lot of experience with that. And Fonzie, though, he's been dealing with a different side of it, which is the sort of gaming side of it. So I want to also hear his perspective
I'll ask
on
him.
the same
Yeah.
thing. But it might just be the same. It might be like they're all a bunch of polite people that don't fucking curse you out or anything like that.
Yeah, they never had their Halo moment over there.
Maybe it's not Halo. Maybe it's like some other game. Like maybe it's like the Dragon Quest community is really toxic or something.
Maybe imagine that. Dude's getting crazy over Genshin Impact over there or something. Who knows?
Well, no, we wouldn't get. That's not a Japanese game, so they wouldn't be getting nuts about that.
It looks very Japanese though. Yeah, it'd be an actual.
Oh no, you know why they did that, right? It's a Chinese company that made that game.
Yeah.
And they don't want to get that. They don't want that sort of association with being a Chinese game, so they went with a very Japanese sort of feel.
It makes sense. So yeah, I wonder if the Final Fantasy 14 guys are toxic. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. All right, that's gonna do it for the news. So let's get into what we've been playing lately. I'll go first since we talked about it. Cyberpunk's. Still playing it, still dabbling. I'm actually checking out all the different endings. There's 5 main endings, so I've been doing that. Although I didn't realize I fucked up the progression in one, so I would need to kind of replay the game again to get to one other ending to get the trophy. But yeah, no, it's nice playing the game in a stable form on consoles because I played it on PC. It was pretty stable on PC. A lot of little bugs and stuff, but it wasn't anything crazy. But on console, it was almost unplayable. But now it's really, really good. And I'm trying to get the platinum, but there's some shit I'm like, eh. But maybe I'll do another run later on and stuff because I was playing as a hacker and stuff. So there was some stuff I can't do, more of the brawling stuff. But I can't do because I'm just weak. Although my hacking skills are pretty dope. But yeah, been playing that. What else? I felt like I played something else. But I don't know. But yeah, Cyberpunk. That's pretty much it for me. Chris, have you been playing anything lately?
Only small stuff. I'm still playing One Finger Death Punch 2. I played. They had an update for Horizon Chase Turbo. They added more modes, so I was trying those. Just small stuff because I was really sick last week, so I didn't have the energy to do much. So I just fired up small things, But I have a huge backlog. I've been meaning to go back to Dying Light 2. I just haven't had the time to go back to it. And Horizon. I quit that as soon as Elden Ring came out. That was it. I just jumped right off that one. I never went back, so I should go back to that.
Nice. Yeah, it's a good game, Carlos, have you been playing anything lately?
I've been playing some chess matches.
Oh shit.
And that's I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, not much going on right now.
Yeah, we're in the dog days of gaming.
Waiting for that Ragnarok. That's what I'm waiting on,
Waiting for Ragnarok and Callisto.
You already know. Gotham Knights is coming out soon.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody's interested in that. All right, Manny, have you been playing anything lately?
I haven't been playing anything, but I did get one thing in the mail. I got this.
What's that? Oh, No More Heroes
3.
Crazy.
Came out on PlayStation 4. So this is the collector's, like, what do they call this? The day one edition. So yeah, I got that going on. So maybe check that out. But to be honest, I haven't been playing that much, but I've been playing essentially EX Troopers or X Troopers for PlayStation 3, the Japanese, essentially the game that is Lost Planet Japanese. It's a fun game, but still playing it. I think I'm getting close to the end. We'll see what happens, but it's been a good time. I've been playing a lot of older games.
Oh boy. Sir Rich a lot is in the house. He goes, Carlos also said he can't wait to play Modern Warfare 2.
Hey man.
He needs to you got to rekindle that flame. You had that love.
That flame is almost all but put out. I will tell Rich this. I'll play if I don't have to pay for it. Good do it.
All right, Brian, what have you been playing lately?
I've been playing a couple of small games recently. So there's one game called Donut County. Mm-hmm. Basically, you again, it's very indie. Tony would hate it.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Basically, you play as this raccoon who delivers donuts, which turn out to be black holes, and then you just basically destroy the world. So it's very, very similar idea to Katamari. Yeah, Katamari. So it's that type of it's a relaxing game. It's not a game that you need to think about and do stuff. So that's kind of cool. The other one is Going Under. So I actually really enjoy that. Of course, Tony will hate it. It's a indie roguelike game, but it makes fun of the startup culture. So it's very meta humor, very poking fun at startups and how they fail from every point of view. And that you have people who program who hate the job, people who are in finance who hate the manager because all they do is spend, the manager who just loves to spend crap. So it's kind of like poking fun at that, and the art style is kind of nice because it's that I think Manny will know more. That new art style that like all these companies are going towards. That is it. That SoCal art style? No, there's a name for it.
If it looks like Steven Universe.
No, it's not. Sorry, it's not
Steven Universe. Arts, right? That
okay.
Bullshit.
That's what they call the Steven Universe style.
It's not that.
No, I know what you're talking about. It's the other art style, which is that corporate sort of like flat style.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Everything's in that style.
Yeah, a lot of the artwork these days, like corporate artwork these days, looks like this sort of weird, sort of exaggerated, flat, almost somewhat a jump off of the way like Art Deco like shapes used to look like in the day, or like 60s art, but just even more symbolic or figurative, just like really flat looking characters. So the whole game is in that style.
Yeah. So it's a comedy game that knows comedy, unlike Saints Row.
Oh shit!
So, and also, as I was telling these guys, downloaded Guardians of the Galaxy last week. So
nice.
Haven't really played much. Like again, maybe like an hour or bit or so. So very starting things. And finally, Scorn comes out today.
Oh shit! Yeah, they were talking about it.
I guess on Friday.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so I'm eager to play that this weekend. So yeah.
Well, looks like I have something to play then, Actually, there is another game I'm playing, but I can't talk about it at the moment, It's not a big game. But it is, but it isn't. Well, I'll talk about it another time,
what I was a little disappointed at?
What?
When is that Capcom showcase? They said this month there was going to be an RE showcase.
Ooh, I didn't know about that.
So there was a leak. It was supposed to be the 14th, but that's tomorrow. There's no way. They would have put up on their channel. They would have put up a upcoming thing, a scheduled placeholder, but they don't have one. So I'm like, where the hell is this showcase?
I don't know. I didn't know they were having a showcase.
Yeah, they said that at their last thing. They said look for an RE showcase in October. I'm like, all right, it's mid-October.
Yo, let's go.
We're still waiting, man. That's my next plat. Let's go.
Yeah, right. Let me read some of these comments. I saw Blitz said he's playing a bunch of shit. He goes, I'm still playing Cyberpunk, Splatoon 3, Tunic, Bayonetta 1 and 2, and a heap of old stuff I keep going back to. So my man's been busy, you know. And Return to Monkey Island. Cool. Yeah, I'll play Scorn. Because the HR Giger shit. Although I have a feeling, I hope this is not true. I have a feeling I'll play a game for like an hour and I'll be bored and I'll just stop. You know, and it's on Game Pass, so it won't even matter. You know. I don't know. For some reason, something tells me it's like the first hour will be really like interesting and intriguing, but then like the gameplay will just end up being boring. So I'll stop playing it. So my instincts is telling me that. I don't know why.
Your spider senses are going off, aren't they?
Yeah.
I can see that, Tony.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, though.
I'm just hoping that it's like an atmospheric game. So that's what I'm looking for most. Like a good atmosphere and good story. Everything else is kind of, I'm not too fussed. So like Soma, but aliens, I guess.
Yeah. That's going to do it for us, people. Short show this week. No arguments. So no throwdown. You know.
No throwing down.
Yeah. So, Manny, do you have anything to plug?
No, actually, I don't. I was waiting for a while to find out if I was going to be a part of Anime NYC. I was not assigned a table, so I will not be there this year. I mean, I actually, the people were really nice, and I actually talked to them about it. So, but it's all good. So I won't be doing Anime NYC. So that means I'm probably gonna go see some Wasp.
Oh, nice.
Instead. So anyway, so yeah, so this November there's nothing going on. I did just have a cover from DC Comics get revealed, or I think maybe it came out. I don't know exactly. No, but I Am Batman number 15 with the variant cover by Kari Randolph and myself has just got revealed, and they did an amazing job on the cover at DC graphics team. They essentially went totally classic on it.
Oh, you muted yourself.
Yes. They did a whole classic job on it. Like, you know, classic, you know, Batman and Robin, the old DC logo. They even went to the point of putting a fake Comics Code Authority logo on there, which is kind of fun. So yeah, that got shown today. So it looked really cool. I'm so happy with the work they did. So yeah, that's coming out really soon. And usual stuff. You know, stay tuned. Got all kinds of stuff going on behind in the works.
Yeah, Carlos, Chris, you don't have anything going on with the coalition?
Yeah. If you guys are interested in The Walking Dead, we are currently in the midst of the final part of the final season, which is the final 8 episodes of The Walking Dead proper. It's going to end pretty soon. We're covering it in the Coalition. It's Coalition with a K. The show is called I Am Negan. So if you guys want to catch the nuke and you guys want to talk about, you know, Negan and all these guys, make sure to tune into I Am Negan. You can search it on all your podcasting apps, Spotify, and all those good places. But if you want to see the video version of it, we also put our podcast in thecoalition.com. That's thecoalition.com with a K. The last episode that we covered, and it just went up in the past 24 hours, is episode 3, which is called The Variant, which was a pretty interesting episode. It was a really good conversation. I was pretty down on that episode. So you get to hear me ramble for a while. And make sure to check it out. It's called I Am Negan. It's hosted by Mr. Adam Bale, who's currently not here today, but he does a great job at hosting, as well as Mr. Richard Bailey Jr., who is the editor-in-chief of the Coalition, and myself. So make sure to check it out. I Am Negan.
Yeah, nobody's watching that Black Adam movie, right?
Dana covered it.
Yeah, she covered it. Yeah, because
she went to the premiere, right?
Yeah. I Comic-Con, I actually got like a ticket, like just for a regular person to go to the screening yesterday, but I went to PepCom instead. You know.
Oh well, you needed that milk.
Yeah, right. Shit. Maybe I should have went to Black Adam. You know. You know. Manny. By the way, Wednesday, Iron Maiden.
Excellent.
Execute them. Bogus. All right, babe. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube and join the Discord where the conversations and the rumors are always popping. You can find us on every podcast app on the planet. Throwdown Show towards Throwdown Show. Throwdownshow.com to listen to previous episodes. And if you have been watching us on YouTube and enjoyed the content, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified. And especially if you're watching, hit like. That helps us out, you know. Like, yeah, like one of our episodes did very, very well, but no likes. Like, hit the like, guys. Come on now, you know. Yeah. If you enjoyed the episode, though, if you enjoyed it, you know, we're not gonna tell you, you know, because we're not those assholes. 3 seconds of video, hit the like button, motherfucker. I don't know you. You know,
yeah, like motherfucker, I haven't watched your fucking video yet. What if I don't like it?
Before I start, hit like and subscribe. Why? I don't know you, bro. You know, fucking crazy. Anyway, links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Deuces.
And Brian Manjoma.
Later, people. Take care now.
You already know. Sunday we'll return for another crazy episode. Later.
Later, guys.
Laters.
Peace.